Dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. As said before, I'm Alex Schaad. I'm the director of the most touching episode you are about to see here. In a few minutes, I will have like 5 minutes of a speech, and then you get to see 3 episodes from this feature film. I'm deeply honored to stand here in front of you and to speak to all of you about Europe filmmaking, and both combined in the Love Europe project. What lies at the utmost core of the human experience for me is the art of storytelling, because humans have been telling stories long before we developed a sense of time, love, death, history, and all the other big themes. And the stories we tell help us to define what those things mentioned are and why they are important to us. So, I was born in 1 year prior to its collapse in the Soviet Union and moved to Europe, to the reunited Germany in 1993, together with my parents and an older brother. None of us being able to speak the language or having any kind of perspective, so without any high hopes of making it there, I guess. And because of that, I think ever since I can remember, I loved the art of cinema, because cinema for me is in its deepest core telling of a story in pictures, so without the need of language or context. A deeply visual and emotional medium, I guess, of course, if done properly. So I was raised by stories told in movies long before I even understood what the characters were saying in them, because I didn't need to, I kind of felt it. And as long filmmakers know what message the movie they want the audience to witness, a movie can cross the borders of countries, of nations, and be grasped and felt all over the world. And in 2017, the famous and inspiring movie producer Gabriela Sperl had an idea. She wanted to make an anthology film about Europe. She wanted it to be called Love Europe, and she wanted 10 filmmakers from all over Europe to show their perspectives on our continent, and she wanted me to be one of them, which was a great honor, because 26 years earlier, I've witnessed the collapse of a union of states united by an authoritarian party. Now, another union of states, the EU, united by common values like the respect for human dignity, the human rights, freedom, democracy, equality, and the rule of law, is threatened by collapse. And we're witnessing it every day, the rise of anti-EU movements, the return of nationalism, the general acceptance of racism, the growing anti-intellectualism, the increase of ignorance, the open wishes for strong authoritarian leaders, the threat of upcoming economic crisis, and the lack of alternatives to a capitalist system that produces more and more inequality every single day is, in my opinion, the greatest menace to our way of life right now, and we are witnessing it basically every day. And sadly, these are just some of the problems we are witnessing. And Gabriela asked us to tell our stories about why we love Europe, which is quite easy. And I don't know if I'm speaking for all of us, but as I developed this story, I kind of felt another dimension of filmmaking that I haven't realized before, the dimension of responsibility, not to a budget or the well-being of someone. I mean the art of cinema as a political act. Because the stories we tell and the way we tell them shape the world that we see. And the stories help us to understand what has already been shaped by politics or our way of life. Stories give us the opportunity to feel what somebody else is feeling, to fear what another human being is fearing, and to witness their lives through their eyes, through the cinema. Thus, for me, stories are the foundation of mutual understanding, coexistence, and democracy. Of course, I've never heard about a revolution caused by movies, and there probably will never be one. But Love Europe, in the Love Europe project, 10 young filmmakers tried to make the audience feel how they feel about Europe and why it matters to us. We tried to form a union of stories about a union of states, and this, I guess, is the most responsible thing a union of young artists can do. And the opportunity Gabriella gave us to speak out loud is especially rare and wonderful in a time where the opinion of newcomers isn't worth that much and thus seldom heard. You are about to see 3 episodes from the anthology episodic feature film Love Europe. We will begin with the short film I had the honor to write and direct, which is called Part of the World. Часть света is the Russian title, which means exactly the same. And it tells the story of an older man from Kazakhstan visiting his family in Germany for the first time. Second will be a short film from Greece called Cedar Wolf, and it tells the story of an Afghan refugee finding not only work, but also a sense of home in Athens. And last will be the piece from Croatia called Like a Bird, telling the story of a little girl dreaming to feel free like a bird while her mother breaking free from the oppressive life that she's kept in. So thank you again very, very much for having me, and I wish you great pleasure with these films. Thank you.